Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. If at any point in time you find yourself not caring for the commentary, there'll be a link in the description down below to the video and BCP Poker Replay's YouTube account. So if you choose to do so, you can watch the action in some silence. With that being said, today we got a 3K PKO from WCOOP 2023. We got Adrian on the final table. We got KZHH, Coco Jambo, Miss Oracle, BM, Pivgar, Pads, Santoy, and with the big stack, ace and a 3. They're going to start things off with a raise from the button. Pads with an ace and a 3 as well in the big. So we got about 38k for first, plus all the bounties. We see with a 10k bounty on their head. Looks like they've done a good job of collecting bounties. Other than that, Santoy with a $4,500 bounty on their head, and Coco with a 5k bounty. Doobity-doo-doo-doo-doo. Miss Oracle with a king and a 10 will go for the open. Poor Adrian as well with a $4,500 bounty on their head, a king and a queen offsuit. Could see a 3-bet, could see a call, could see a fold. They land on the fold option. Pora and Pads are both they're patient. Very patient players. And I don't mean that like condescendingly. It's like I literally mean it. They're just patient. They do a great job of hanging out, waiting for their best spots, and taking advantage of them. Miss Oracle with 2 pairs, Pivgar with a straight draw to the queen. No club in their hand. I imagine they're in check folding mode. KZHH, one of my favorite players to watch. As soon as they get some chips, they go crazy. Same thing with Coco Jambo. Not super familiar with BM, but they got a lot of chips. They know what they're doing here on the final table of a 3K. And we got Santoy, a very fun, active player with 54 blinds. As well with the big stack. Likes to get after it, I think. Coco with an ace and a queen will raise it on up. And looks like they might get this through pre. I was really excited, all for nothing. What do we got going on here? A bunch of bullshit. Ace 3 for Santoy. It's offsuit. I don't imagine we're going to play it. King 3 versus King 10 in the blinds. BM could go for a big sizing here to look to put some pressure on Miss Oracle. They go 3.5x. It's a pretty big size. Miss Oracle calls. 6-5-2 flop goes. Do we bet with our straight draw? 2.7x. BM takes a stab, and Miss Oracle will fold the best of it with King 10 on a low board. Nice little steal by BM. They're hanging out with 58 blinds now. Pads with a king and a jack of the same suit. Surely we play this in some way. What do? We go for the 2.5x raise. Ace 8 for Pivgar will hit the muck. Coco in the big with a 5 and a 2 will also let that go. Ace for 10-10 for Oracle. 7-7 for KZ. We'll see a raise from the aces. Oracle could always call with the 10s. KZ could come along in the big blind. Or we'll see an Oracle jam. I don't know if we use a small 3-bet sizing. Suppose we should just wait and see what's going to happen. Miss Oracle lands on the all-in, and that's just bad timing. KZ can fold the 7s. We'll gladly call. Look to scoop the $2,500 bounty. Just sweat a couple of 10s. No spades. We get a all-heart board. No 10 for Oracle. And just like that, the aces hold. The big stack gets a little bit bigger. 193 blinds for Ace and an 8 for Pads. We'll just fold. 8-6 suited for Coco. I don't know if we raise 35 blinds. We cover both Adrian and KZ, but we see a BM open. A bad manner open with a jack and a 6 of the same suit. KZ with a queen and a jack will 3-bet from the small. And BM will have to fold. Nice little 3-bet there by KZ. By the pot with a small 3-bet with a queen and a jack offsuit. 5-5 for Santoy. We'll raise it on up under the gun. King Jack suited for Adrian in the small. What do we do off the 21 big blind stack? Do we just call? Do we fold? Folding feels weird. Adrian says we're going to go for the 3-bet here to make it 10 blinds to go. Just in case wakes up with something, they'll go all in. Adrian might fold his Santoy jams as well over the top of cold 4-bet. Anyways, that's a lot of words for what little action we had. We had a 3-bet and a fold. Doopity-doo. Ace Jack for Pivgar will raise from early position. With a couple of 10s. We'll 3-bet the small blind. Pivgar not too happy about this. They really wanted to go to the flop for the price they chose. Instead, they're going to have to pay off another 5 blinds if they want to go to the flop. Do we jam it all in for value? Pivgar says, no, we'll just call. Queen, queen, 8 flop. 2 clubs for Pivgar. Pair of 10s are still good. 16 blinds in the middle, 18 behind. Bets 3.5. Pivgar might rip it all in here. Do we call? What do we do with ace jack of clubs? Pivgar finds the call, smacks an ace on the turn. Doopity-doo. 24 blinds will slide their way. I don't think puts in another penny. Looks like a check fold situation. I don't know if Pivgar bets. There's a lot of flush draws out there. We're going to get called by every queen. We're not going to get called by an 8 or the pocket pairs. Is there worse ace-x that would call us? Does ace-10 call? Pivgar says maybe for 2.3 blinds. It's a bet 10% pot. With the full house draw. Says, I'm going to find a call and meet you on the river. Deuce of spades. Both flush draws miss. Pivgar will check. And see the good news. 40 blinds for Pivgar. 4 and a 4 under the gun. We'll just let it go. Jack 9 for Santoy in the small versus pads 8-7 of diamonds. Very pretty hand. Sees a limp. We'll go to the flop. Pads thinking about a raise. I think we just check. There it is. 10-5-3. Santoy with 3 in a row. We'll see if he takes a stab here. Nope. Pads with the backdoor straight draws as well. We'll do something. Check or bet. He's got 2 options. Lands on the check. King on the turn. Santoy with the straight draw to the queen will now lead out for pot. Pads will get out of the way. No draw here. 8 high. Pads is in the tinker. And finds the fold. Ace and a 9 for Adrian. Sees Coco's open. KZ with the 5 or the 4-4. Coco with the 5-5. KZ folds. Adrian folds. Jack 4 suited for Pivgar in the big. Are we going to the flop? Pivgar says, yeah, let's go to the flop. Ace Queen Jack goes check. Does Coco bluff with the 5s? They bet 3 blinds. This might get a fold out of the pair of jacks. Nicely done by Coco. Blinds go up. A7 suited for Adrian. We'll raise the run up. Queen and a 9 for It is suited. We could go to the flop here. Finds a fold. Ace 3 for BM in the big blind. I don't know if we call here. We're not suited. We cover Adrian. BM says, well, let's see what the flop brings us. Jack 9-8 goes check. Do we check Ace 7? We do, and we make a pair 7s on the turn, so the board is locked up for Adrian. Providing they don't fold. I don't know if BM bluffs either with the ace and the 3, no heart, no spade. Well, they are going to fire a barrel. 3.25 blinds to go. And Adrian folds the best of it with the pair of 7s. What a play by BM. They get a couple of aces the next hand. Doesn't look like they're going to get any action. No, Coco in the big with an 8 and a 3. Maybe we limp it in. BM goes for the 3.5x sizing to stay consistent, and the bet gets through. I'm pretty sure there's a one-liner, so it makes sense that Adrian folded the bottom pair. It's just an interesting bluff there with the ace and the 3, again, with no flush draw, no straight draw, no nothing going on. Still got Adrian to fold the best of it. Nice play by BM. 7-3 flops 2 pair. With the straight draw to the 4, backdoor flush draw, a pair of 6s. See a check from KZ. We'll bet 2 blinds. KZ might raise with the 2 pair, wet board. 7.2 blinds to go. In the tank, we'll find the call, jack on the turn. KZ sized up the turn jam if they want to take it. They actually go for the small size, 20 blinds in the middle, 6.5 is the bet. Leaving KZ with 11.5 behind. This is a very interesting choice. Might get a call out of the 6s. It does. 4 on the river. Bad news for KZ. 11 blinds committed to the... Oh, we're so committed to the pot. We can't fold. Oh no. It's going to get the bounty. There's the all in. And we see the bad news. Goodbye, KZ. So the big stack gets a couple bounties. 180 blinds. Boppity boo, boppity bee. Ace 4 for Coco. We'll limp it on in. Jack 9 for in the big blind. Queen Jack 10 flop goes check. Bet. Call. We're off to the turn. 7 of hearts, so Coco picks up a heart draw. Still has a straight draw to the king. Jacks are good for the time being. We get the 9 of diamonds on the river, so a pretty boring card. Makes 2 pairs. There's a 1-liner to a king or an 8. Coco might fire a bluff, I suppose. I just think the 2 pairs might be in calling mode. I don't know. Hope we see it. It'll be a big sizing. 5 blinds to go. Thinking about things. I don't know what to do with the jack and the 9. I can see Coco as an ace and a 4. It's not an easy call. Does land on the fold. With both a 1-liner to the king out there and the 1-liner to the 8. Coco gets one through. Nicely done. Eight 4 off for him. Santoy with an 8 and a 6 in the big, waiting patiently, sees a limp. Santoy, I think, will check it back. Could be wrong. Might stick in the raise here. There it is, 4 blinds to go, and they'll buy the pot pre-flop. Ace and a queen suited for pads. We see BM with the ace 10 off. Santoy with jack 10 suited in the small blind. I think we'll see a raise. Santoy might call, might 3-bet. If a 3-bet comes in, pads could always fold the ace queen. It's suited and booted. I hope we find the all-in option. Santoy might just call as well. There's the call. Pads can dunk it in. Scoop the 6 blinds in the middle. There it is. Don't think BM goes bounty hunting. About 15 more blinds to call. Both players quickly fold. I suppose BM thought about it for a second, but still, no time bank used. Excuse me. Pivgar with an ace and a 6 will get a walk. Bunch of nothing going on here. 9-3. Does it get a walk? Pivgar with jack 5 off. Limps it on in. BM can buy the pot with a raise, or we can just go to the flop. Could always fold, but you're never going to see that here. Ace 8-5 flop goes check. Check, check, check. No, it doesn't. Pivgar leads on out. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for BM. We'll find the fold. King and a queen for king and a jack for Coco. We'll see a raise. Call from the big blind, and we're off to the flop. Let's see what it brings. 9-4-2. 2 hearts for Coco as well with the backdoor heart draw. Both players with the backdoor straight draw. 2 overcards. Queen on the turn, so top pair for Coco with the straight draw to the 10. I don't know if he likes it that much. Sees a big ass bet, 7.3 blinds, and the bet will get through. Ace and a 6 for pads, just gonna fold of course. 4-4 for BM on the button, we'll open it on up. Adrian in the big with a 6 and a 7. We're in last place, we could always defend the big blind. Adrian says, no, not here, not today. Jack 9 for Santoy. We'll raise it on up under the gun, I think. Pivkar with a queen there, 10 of the same suit. We might fold. We could call. We could 3-bet. We'll see what happens. Pivkar in the tank. We'll just lay it down. And the Santoy raise gets through pre-flop. King 6 suited for pads. I don't know why I thought he's going to open it. He's going to lay this down pre. Ace Jack suited for BM. We'll go for the open. It looks like they're going to get it through pre-flop. King Deuce waiting in the big blind. I think just folds off the 44 big blind stack. BM covers us. It's King 2 offsuit. Truly unappealing spot. King 6 for Adrian. We'll fold the cutoff, of course, off 15 blinds. I don't even know why I said their hand. We'll raise up the ace 6 off pads. I think we defend queen 10. We flop a straight draw to the 9. We got 2 live cards with the queen and 10. Thinking things through. We check back the flop. Interesting stuff. 7 on the turn, so both players with the straight draw to the 9 now. Pads leads on out. Might fold the ace high. Also has a straight draw to the 4. There's so many flush draws out there. We're going to be playing a guessing game on the river. Does find the call. Hopefully Pads fires another bluff. 10 blinds in the middle. 17 behind. What size do we go? 6.7. Pad says no, we're going to check and give up the bluff. Goes check, check. And takes another pot. Ace 8 for We'll raise it on up. Ace 9 for Santoy. Do we just let this go? Is it a fold pre-flop? Do we 3-bet or fold? Santoy says yeah, and I'm just going to fold. Pivkar in the big with a queen and a 4. We'll also let that go. Couple queens for Coco. They'll raise it on up and get it through pre. Pads with queen 10 off. Doesn't have all the chips in the world to play with. And it's queen 10 offsuit, so they're going to let it go. King queen off for we'll raise it on up. Pivkar with an ace and a king of the same suit. We'll see a 3-bet. Do we ever call here with 2 short stacks in play? I think we see a non-all-in 3-bet. To about 6 blinds. 6.8 is the size. Coco folds ace 10. Has a lot of chips. We can go to the flop here with king queen, or we could just look to preserve them. King Jack 7 flop. Good news for Pivkar. With the backdoor straight draw. Top pair with the second best kicker. Pivkar bets quarter pot on the flop. We'll find the call. Just kidding, he goes for the raise on the flop. 9.5 blinds. I don't know if this saves him. I don't know. Does Pivkar call? Do we jam? What do we do, Pivkar? We give our opponent room just to continue betting? Nah, I don't know. Personally, I think I'd play call. The board's King Jack 7. We got top pair, top kicker. I'm not too worried about any turn card. A jack isn't great, but we don't expect a jack to check raise to this sizing. Pivkar goes for the 3-bet on the flop, leaving himself with 10 blinds behind. And says maybe I can get away from it now. Nope. I didn't think so. They 4-bet all in. They're looking for a queen. They don't hit it. 66 blinds slide Pivkar's way as blinds go up. So they got 58 now. With 135. Pads with an ace 6 of the same suit will fold from the hijack. Dippity-doo. BM with a jack and a 7 from the button. We'll raise it on up and get it through pre. What do we got going on here? Pivkar with a queen and a jack. Coco with a king and a jack. I think Pivkar raises here, being the... Oh, no, wait. In the big blind. Do we just fold? Pivkar says, no, we're going to the flop here. Coco with a king and a jack and 3-bet or fold. I don't think we ever call there, even though we're in position. With the 8-3 suited, we'll call the big blind. 8-2-2 flop goes check. Hopefully Pivkar finds a way to scoop up the 6 blinds in the middle. They bet small on the flop. Backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw for we'll just fold. And the 6 blinds do slide Pivgar's way. King queen for Adrian. Once it folds to them, they will rip it all in. Santoy in the big with the ace and the 8 of the same suit. I think call. There's the quick call. Couple of queens on the flop. That's pretty well a locked up board for Adrian. They're back in the game with 24 blinds. King queen suited for Coco. We'll see them open, right? BM with king 5 is thinking about the open. They are in the second place now that Adrian just got the double, so BM gets the opportunity to raise a little bit more. They'll go for the open with the king 5 suited. Coco 3 bets, pads in the big with an ace and a jack, might fold. We might also stick it all in. Calling's out of the option. Ace jack will fold and king 5 also hits the muck. King for BM, ace queen off for Coco. We'll see a raise. I think we call ace queen, I could be wrong. Ace queen calls. Pivgar in the big with a 9 and a 2 of the same suit, has a lot of chips. Covers both players, finds the call. Queen jack 8 flop. So top pair, top kicker for Coco. This is bad news for him. Pivgar with a straight draw to the 10. BM with a couple of kings. The over pair will check over to Coco, who bets 2 blinds. Pivgar will fold a straight draw. BM will land on a call or raise. We'll see what happens here. The board's real wet. BM does say, let's just go to the turn here. 7 of hearts. 11 blinds in the middle. Coco will bet large. No, he's keeping the pot small. I thought Coco was in real trouble. They found a way to preserve the 26 blind stack. BM will go for some value. Coco will call. Right, hopefully. This is just what I'm hoping for. BM bets large, 9.4 blinds, quick call by Coco. At least they're still alive. Top pair, top kicker, you got a call there. Coco will pay it off and see the bad news. So 17 blinds for Coco, 12 for pads, 23 for Adrian, 25 for Santoy. Then we got 3 players battling it out for first place. With the king and the jack, we'll raise it on up. Pivgar with 9-8 suited, I think we fold. Could always call. 9 deuce suited for BM. In second place, after the kings versus ace queen. Doopity doo. 9-8 does call. Ace queen 9 flop. With the backdoor royal flush draw. We'll check it on over to Pivgar with the pair of 9s. Flop goes, check, bet, call, and we're off to the turn. I suppose can throw in a raise here. That would get the pair of 9s to fold. There it is, 7 blinds to go. And Pivgar will let go of the 9-8 and wish he had checked back the flop. King 2 for BM. We'll raise it on up. Coco in the small with an ace and a 5. We'll just let it go. Adrian in the big with a 6 and a 2 will fold. Ace 10 for pads, thinking about a jam. Oh no, sorry, Santoy still had the opportunity to act. I thought pads was under the gun. Anyways, 11 blinds for pads, ripping it in. 5-5 for Pivgar. I think we fold, but there is a $1,700 bounty on the line. Pivgar says I'm going to fold the 5s. I think Coco folds ace 3. We'll call with the king and the jack. We have 137 blinds. We have a king and a jack. We aren't suited. We don't want to double up pads. Is thinking about a fold. They might let this one go. In the end, they say, yeah, let's get it in with 40%. We got some straight chop outs that don't come. 3 or an 8 would have been a chop pot. Instead, pads gets the full double as there's a queen on the river. Coco with a couple of 8s will rip it in for 15 blinds. We'll rip it all in with a couple of jacks. Let's see if Coco can survive with making a pair of 8s. Both their suits are dominated, so that's bad news. Dippity doo. A jack on the flop. Pretty well dead to Coco. Needs runner 8-8 to make 4 of a kind. Not gonna happen here today. Coco's Gonzo Alonzo. We're down to 6. With the big stack, 140 blinds. Got a couple of 20 big blind stacks, BM and Pivgar hanging out at about 50 to 60 blinds. So we'll really get to see the chip distribution dynamics at play. Wow, what a sentence. Queen Jack for BM, sees an Ace King 3 flop. With the 7 high. Flop goes check check, king on the turn goes... I'd like to see BM buy the pot at some point once again. Just doesn't need the chips. He's got 141 blinds over there. Certainly will fold to the 2 big blind bet, and the bet gets through, of course. Not much going on here. Adrian with 9-7 suited and only 21 blinds will fold. King 8 suited for Santoy on the button. 22 blinds will open it on up into Pivgar's big blind with a king and a 4 offsuit. Do we go to the flop here? I don't know. Pivgar might fold. We might 3-bet. Calling feels weird. So there's the 3-bet from Pivgar. There's no surprises there. Santoy, I think, folds king 8 suited. Would love to see a 4-bet all in by the pot. Doopity-doo Santoy, thinking it through. They do have the best holding here, we can see. King 4 versus King 8. Obviously, King 8 is better. What a stupid comment. Santoy thinks about it for a while, but they do find the fold. Queen Jack for suited and booted. We'll raise it on up. King Deuce for Pivgar in the small blind will fold, and the raise gets through pre. A6 suited. We'll raise. Adrian in the big with a king and an 8 at the same suit. Pivgar with 9-7 suited. They like to see flops. They'll be in position. They cover Adrian in the big blind, so Pivgar does find the call. Adrian will come along. King Jack 10 flop goes check. Do we bet here? Got the straight draw to the queen. Backdoor flush draw. Does take a stab. 2.4 blinds to go. Pivgar with the straight draw to the 8 will find the fold. Backdoor flush draw to go along with it. Adrian with the topest of pairs will just fold on the flop. What an interesting hand. Adrian just folding the topest of pairs on the flop there. Getting away with murder. 6-6 for Pivgar with the king and a 9 of the same suit. I was really hoping Adrian found a way to find the call there. It's not going to be easy to navigate on turn or river. And with just ace high, if we see a heart on the turn, is probably going to go bombs away and Adrian folds on the turn. So they just save themselves a blind or two in a spot where it's very unlikely that they're going to find themselves on the river. They're almost never going to be happy there. They did have a backdoor flush draw, which is interesting. Backdoor full house draw. You would have expected a call on the flop, but not going to happen here today. King 9 versus 6s, we see an A7-5 flop. Goes bet, or check bet call. 9 on the river as the turn checks. Checks through. Whoa, sentences are getting difficult. Anyways, the 6s in the tank here. 11 blinds in the middle will slide Pivgar's way, providing they don't fold. Doesn't throw in a bluff with the 6s. Pivgar checks it and takes down the pot. Ace-6 for Pivgar, we'll raise it on up. In the small blind with a jack and a 10. Thinking things through here. I do just land on the fold. 10-10 for BM. So what an interesting little spot we got going on here. Again, Pivgar, BM with 60 blinds. 320 big blind stacks, then with 140 blinds. We could see them go quite crazy at any point in time, as they could put a lot of pressure on BM, a lot of pressure on Pivgar. Those shorter stacks are more likely to put pressure on you than you are them. King Jack for we'll raise it on up. Pivgar in the big blind with a queen and a queen. So you have a raise. Santoy with 7-6 suited, very pretty hand. It's hearts, but they have to let that go. Queen Queen will 3-bet. King Jack playing about 50 blinds deep, off suit. I think folds to the 3-bet. We'll see what happens. Pivgar does put in the 3-bet. I was starting to wonder if they're going to play call. They do go for the 3-bet. 10.5 blinds to go, 8.5 to call. And we'll lay down the king jack. 8-5 suited for pads. Just going to fold off the 15 big blind stack. Pivgar with 6-10 offsuit will limp it in. BM with an 8 and a 4. Pivgar makes the toppest of pairs. BM with the backdoor straight draws, backdoor flush draw. 8 high. I don't know if we pay off a bet here. 1 big blind to go. Getting a good price. BM does cover Pivgar. $2,100 bounty on Pivgar's head. It wouldn't be easy for BM to get stacks in, but he is going to go for the re-raise on the flop here, make it 3.5 blinds, 4 on the turn. I think it goes check check. 5-6 makes a straight. Do. Turn does go check check. Ace of hearts on the river goes check check. And Pivgar takes the 10 blinds in the middle. Do we ever block bet? Interesting little question there. What size do we go? Pivgar's thinking about a value bet. 2 blinds, so pretty blockerish. About 20% pot. BM with the pair of 4s. Hopefully they find the fold. The hearts did get there on the river. There's still 8-9. We block that. Jack 9. There's some bluffs out there. What about 8-6? 6-9. With a heart. You know, some of these combos, there's plenty of bluffs out there. BM does think about it for a while and then they land on the fold. Nicely done. Did preserve themselves 2 big blinds there. 10-10 for we'll raise it up. Pivgar with a suited king. I think we fold. They say we're going to call. Pora in the big blind with a 5 and a 5. We'll call. Queen 9-5 flop. Good news for Adrian. With the backdoor straight draws. The pair of 10s will check it on over to Pivgar, who's got king high with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Pivgar puts in a small bet, 2 blinds into 7.2. Adrian might dunk it in here. Hopefully they just call. Nice call by Adrian. Might come along as well with their backdoor straight draw, 3 of a kind draw. Getting a fair price, 2 blinds into about 13.7 big blind pot. Does find the call. Adrian with 10 blinds behind. Pivgar picking up a pair of 7s. I don't think we'll bet. So does it just go check, check, check? Adrian in the tank here, thinking about a lead jam, which would get through. Adrian does check. Another check by So Pora's just sweating a 10 here. That's kind of cool to note. Get the 6 of diamonds on the river. So 1-liner to an 8. Don't think anybody bets. Adrian in the tank will check. Does block 10-8, which is the nut straight, which is interesting to note. If they do bluff, I hope Adrian finds the call. I don't know what to do here with the set. Be a tough spot. They won't be put in. King 7 will check it back as well. Adrian will scoop a nice little pot there. About 11 blinds, wasn't it? Maybe a little bit more. 9-8 suited for Pivgar. We'll raise it on up with a jack and a 9. We'll call the big blind. Right. Weird suited, but let's still go to the flop. King 10-7 goes check. Do we bet with our open-ended straight draw, backdoor flush draw? It's a king high board. That bet's probably coming in. Pivgar doesn't want to get check raised, but they do go for a small sizing here, 1.5 blind. So if they do put in the re-raise, we still might be going to the turn. Bangs off a straight on the turn. Pivgar with a straight blocker. It's not a diamond. They will check back. 5 on the river. It's nice to make a straight, but your opponent has 9 high, so isn't going to get paid off here. If they check it on over, I don't know if Pivgar bluffs either. So does go for the 10.4x No, the 10.4 big blind pot, or the 10.4 big blind bet. Holy shit, that was difficult. Overbet pot, about 8 blinds in the middle. We'll take them down. 9 and a 9 for Adrian. We'll rip it all in for 23 blinds. Pifgar with a king and a 9. We'll probably lay it down. $4,500 bounty on Adrian's head. There's no reason to double them up. Queen Jack for BM. Off the 50 big blind stack. From the hijack, we'll raise it on up. Adrian in the cutoff with an ace and a queen will call. 9-5 suited for is giving it a think over. We'll probably fold. 6-9 suited for pads in the big blind might call. 1 blind into 7.2. That's a fair price for the 6-9 suited. Don't think there's a reason to raise. Pads doing some quick math. They find the call. Ace 10-6 flop. So this is the situation Pads was hoping to avoid. Flop bottom pair, BM puts in a bet. Adrian might just call with the top as the pairs. Backdoor royal flush draw. Now the question is, do we call with the bottom pair, backdoor flush draw with backdoor straight draw in there as well? 1.8 blinds. What do we do? We might just fold. Like, just say, fuck it, we're done with the hand. This isn't quite what we were looking for. 6 on the turn, for fuck's sakes. Oh no. Oh, poor Pads. Ace and a queen on the turn. Or sorry, ace queen on the turn, picking up the flush draw. I don't know why I said ace queen on the turn, fuck. Queen Jack in the tank. Goes for a bet ski here, repping the strong holdings. Aces, 10s. Ace 6 suited or some shit. Ace and a king as well. That's in there. What else is in there? Probably some ace queen. What about ace jack? Is ace jack starting to check on the turn? Might throw in another big bet and then check on the river. 3 of hearts. So Adrian holds up. No king. BM does slow down. Adrian will take the nice 24 big blind pot. And they might even dunk it in for the remaining 16.5 blinds. Obviously BM isn't calling. Adrian thinking it over. What do you think? Should they jam? They say, yeah, let's make it 15 blinds. And the raise will get through. So bad news for Pads. Very interesting spot for them. With that 6 and the 9, they would have made 3 of a kind on the turn. They get a king and a jack. With the ace and the deuce, we'll raise it on up. Pads might dunk it in here. No, it just folds. Queen Jack for Adrian. They'll just fold. Where are they? Under the gun or the low jack? Pads with a 6 and a 5 will fold off the 12 big blind stack. Pifgar with a king and a 4 in the small blind. I think we'll raise. BM with the 7-6 suited sees the 4.1 big blind size. They still find the call, pick up a straight draw to the 5, backdoor heart draw, a 7 or 6 are both live cards. 10-4, 3 flop, Pivgar with that middle pair, fair kicker will bet 2.5 blinds. BM can't fold. The question is, do we raise? What are we going to accomplish? Not much, so we just call. King of spades on the turn, Pivgar with the 2 pairs. If we bet, we're taking the pot down. If we check, BM probably checks it back. 8.5 blinds is the bet, and the bet gets through. 4-4 for Pads. 12 big blinds. What do we do? Adrian with a king and a jack in the big blind. Pads will rip it all in with the pocket pair. Adrian with the king and the jack sees a $1,700 bounty on the line. Says that's not quite appealing. I don't want to double you up. They pass on the spot. Ace 5 for Pads. We'll probably fold. Could go for the min raise. Pad says nah. We'll get a walk with the E7 off. 9-9 for Pivgar. We'll raise it on up. And looks like they'll get it through pre. 3-3 for Pivgar. I don't know if we open this one up. Pivgar says, yeah, why the hell not? Queen 7 for Pads, and the big blind will fold. Blinds go up. So we got Santoy with 8.5 blinds, Adrian with a couple of jacks and 32 bigs, Pivgar with ace king in the big. Uh-oh, we're gonna see some fireworks pre-flop here. Jack 9 for pads, will fold. Santoy with the 5s, I think folds. Hopefully, right? Fold Santoy, nicely done. Ace king, I think 3 bets. I don't know what size we go. Do we jam? Do we make it 9 blinds? We're playing about 32 effective. He makes it 8.2 blinds to go. About 6 and a little bit more to call. Pora might just dunk it in here. There's the all in. We'll see a call from the ace king. We got a big flip ski. Any ace or king will do, except for a club. Pora Adrian gets the full double. Ooh, so just like that, Adrian up to 65 blinds. Pivgar down to 15. Joins pads and Santoy down with the bottom stacks. BM with 24 blinds. It looks like an Adrian and heads up battle is brewing. With that being said, BM is still in the game with their they flop 2 pair with the straight. How much longer are they going to be in the game is the question. They're going to need an 8 or a 7. A couple of 6s would also get the job done. Other than that, BM is in real trouble here. They might go for the check raise on the flop. What size do we go? 6 point something? 6.2. There it is. Just under 3x. Do we just call here? There's no flush draw. We do just call king on the turn. So BM is still in trouble. They'll rip it all in. We'll snap call with a nut straight. And again, we need to see an 8 or a 7. There's just no way BM check folds. There's the all-in. They've got 9%. Calls. And we get the 9 of spades on the river, so BM is Gonzo Alonzo. So now there's 5. Santoy with 8 blinds. Pads with 10. Pivgar with 15.5. Not going to be easy for those 3 to get back in the game. With 120 blinds, gets a walk. 9 and a 9 for Pivgar. We'll raise and maybe take it down pre. 15 blinds. Do we just rip it in? They do land on the min raise. Still will get through pre-flop. Queen deuce for Santoy in the big. You know what? They've only got 7 blinds behind. They do think about calling, going to the flop there. But they do land on the fold. King 10 for him. We'll jam it all in for about 9 blinds. Pads with the queen and a 10 will fold the big. Good stuff. Ace jack versus ace jack. Adrian with a king and a 10 of the same suit. Let's see. Potentially 3-bet. Pivgar potentially fold. Lands on the call, so Pivgar's getting a great price to call. Or rip it in. Could look to scoop the 6 blinds in the middle. We're in 3rd place here. We don't necessarily want to jam and go bust out, but we are going to rip it all in. Look to buy the pot. Look to build a stack. With the same hand as thinking things through, and we'll find the call. Nobody can pick up a flush. We'll chop it up. 9-9 for we'll raise. Adrian in the big with a queen and a jack will probably call. They call. Ace king jack flop goes check. With our underpair we could turn it into a bluff. It's a good board to bet. That's real small, 1.2 blinds. Adrian might find the call with the backdoor royal flush draw. They even stick in the raise here. Interesting. 8 blinds to go in total, and the raise will get through. Ace and a 10 for Santoy. 6 blinds. We'll rip it all in. $4,500 bounty on the line. We'll find the call with the queen and the jack. Look to smack a queen or a jack queen on the turn. That will do. Boppity boo. We lose Santoy in 5th place. Ace and a 2 for pads in the big blind. Doopity doo 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 doo. Jack 2 suited for Adrian on the button. We'll raise it on up. 6-4 suited for in the small blind. Get a raise. A fold. Pads might dunk it in here. Hopefully he doesn't fold. He finds the call. Queen 6-3 flop. Does Adrian find a way to buy the pot? Bets a big blind. Pads with the backdoor flush draw. Backdoor straight draw. Can we fold? Pad says no. We gotta go for the min raise. Makes it 2.3 blinds and the raise gets through. King 7 for him. We'll jam for about 17 blinds and get it through. 6-3 for him. Well, no, he isn't gonna raise. I think this is just a fold. Could be wrong. Does land on the fold. Poro will get a walk. Pivgar with an ace and a 9. With a king and a 10 in the big blind. Let's see, some sort of raise. And probably a call. Don't think king 10 four-handed is looking to jam it all in. What if Pivgar jams? There's the all-in, 16 blinds in total to go, 15 more to call. We've got 42% we see. We'll just lay down the king 10. No reason to double up Pivgar, I suppose. Poro will raise ace 4. 10-7 for him, we'll fold the small. Ace 5 for pads in the big blind. We could jam, we go for the call option. Queen 9-8 flop goes check, bet, fold, and we're moving along. Queen 5 for Adrian will fold. 8-jack suited for pads, we'll rip it all in. Pavgar will call with the ace and the 9. Any 8 or jack will do. Not gonna happen, pads is gone in 4th place. Pivgar gets the bounty, most importantly the chips, 27 blinds, a king and a jack, in the big with an ace and a 6 of the same suit. We'll play call. What's the flop bring us? Are we thinking about a raise? Do land on the call. King 9-7, so super wet board. So many straight draws, with the nut flush draw. Pivgar with the toppest of pairs. They got the jack of hearts, the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draws. They bet about half pot. Now do we raise on the flop? Do we call? We meet him on the turn. Says let's raise it on up to 8 blinds. Pivgar I think gets in the king jack. That's pretty well a flip for Pivgar's life and the 3k bounty. Do we ever just call on the flop here? Or is it just a mandatory 3-bet? Anyways, we're going to get it in with 57%. Heart on the river, that will do. We're down to 2. Gets another bounty. Adrian hanging out with 64 blinds. They haven't got a bounty on the final table. Still $4,500 bounty on their head. With a 19k bounty on their head. Has done a great job of scooping some bounties. The chips, it's been fun to watch. 6-2-2 flop goes check check. 6 on the turn, 8 high. Versus 10 high, boring ass pot. In position, we could always bet and look to buy it on the turn. Says no, let's go to the river, queen of hearts. We will chop it up if it's a bunch of checks. I think puts in a bet though. Could be wrong. There's the bet, 1.7 blinds, and the bet gets through. Ace and a 9 versus a 10 and a 7. We'll see a limp. Potentially a raise. There it is, 3.5 blinds, and the raise gets through. King 7 for 10-8 suited for Adrian. Raise and a call incoming. Ace Jack 9 flop goes check. Do we bet with the backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw? Adrian with an open ender. Sees a big bet, 3.2 blinds into about 4. Adrian calls for a hearts on the turn, so no help for hand, but the king high is still best. They're gonna overbet the turn, 14 blinds, and Pora has to fold the straight draw. 7-6 for Adrian. We'll limp it in. Jack 2 off for We'll check it back. 6-5-4 flop. Both players with the straight draw to the 3. It's a pretty dirty card. With the backdoor flush draw, we'll see if they come along. It's only the 2 of hearts, so they just lay it down. King 4 versus Jack 3. Get a raise and a fold pre. King 3 for Adrian. On the button, we'll limp it in. 8-6 checks it back. Ace 10-7 flop goes. Check. Do we check the king high? Huh. We do. 8 on the turn. Makes a pair. Still has a straight draw to the 9. Blocks some flush draws with the 6 of hearts. We'll check it on over to Adrian, who I don't think is putting in a barrel. Jack on the river. Again, I think the river just goes check, check. There it does. 2 blinds in the middle. What a boring ass pot. Fortunately, we have to watch those ones too. 8-4 from we'll raise it on up. Ace-4 calls the big. 8-4, Ace-4. Very difficult for me to say. King 7-7 flop goes check, bet, call. We're off to the turn. 10 of hearts. With not much doing, 8 high. Blocks some straight draws. We see them check it back on the 10 turn. 6 of clubs on the river. Very pretty as the rainbow's been completed. 8 high, blocking the straight. We'll bet about half pot. Adrian with the ace high. It'd be cool to see a call. I don't know if they find it. No, they're gonna lay this one down. No surprises there. Blinds go up. Adrian with the 7 and a 4 will limp it on in. Queen 6 for and the big blind will check it back. 9-5-2 flop. Goes check, bet, fold. Would like to see a raise from That'd be cool. But they do land on the fold option. 9-6 for Deuce 3 for Adrian. Limp and a raise and a fold, and we're moving along. 3-3 for Adrian. 9-10 suited for See a limp. A raise, right? That we call. Or just check, I mean. You can't call facing a limp. Anyways, 9-10 raises it up to 3.5 blinds. Adrian calls. Ace-10, 8 flop. Could always check over the pair of 10s here. Let Adrian bluff off with the underpair. There's flush draws out there. There's plenty of straight draws. With a 3 of a kind draw. Picks up a flush draw on the turn. Undercard to your pair of 10s for I think it goes check, check. 10 on the river. I don't think Adrian bluffs. I think bets for value. And the bet gets through. 5 blinds to go. I suppose we could call. We could bluff as well. In Adrian's shoes. But I do think they fold and they just land on the fold. So it's kind of interesting. 3 of a kind for raises facing the limp with the 9-10 suited pre-flop. Flops a pair, we check it down to the river where makes 3 of a kind and bets and takes the pot. 9-5 for Adrian. It is suited in position. Looks like they raise pre this time. 10-6 will call the big. 8-8 deuce flop goes check bet. Fold? Did we just fold on the flop? Says yeah. With our backdoor straight draw. 10-4 for I'll raise the button. It's offsuit. 6-6 for Adrian will call. Ace-5-4 flop goes check. Do we bet our pair of 4s? Could go super small. 1.6 blinds is the bet. Adrian will come along to the turn. 9 of spades. Interesting card as picks up a flush draw. We might check it back now. Right? Maybe a little check ski. There's a check 9 on the river. Should feel rather comfortable just checking. Adrian with their 6s. Do we try to get called by a 5 or a 4? Adrian says, yeah, let's try to get called by a 5 or a 4. And does flick in the call. Nice little pot there for Adrian to scoop with the 6s versus 10-4. Ace-7 versus 7-5. Get a limp. Raise. No. Nice little check by 7-6-5 or 7-6-2 flop. Goes check, bet, raise. Raise, there it is. 4 blinds in total to go, 3 more to call. Adrian with top pair will come along to the 9 on the turn. Straight draw for Adrian to the 8. 2 pair outs to the 5. He's going to get a free river if he wants it. There it is, 4 of diamonds. Boppity, 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 boo. So Adrian misses on the draw. With the pair of 7s and the ace kicker will take down the pot. 10 blinds in the middle, trying to get 4 more on top of it. And a nice fold by Adrian. 5-2 for Adrian folds the big with some bullshit. 9-6 will limp it in. Queen and a 10 for flop and top pair. Adrian with the straight draw. Bottom pair will check back the flop queen on the turn. Makes 2 pairs. Adrian with the straight draw, I say. Looking for an 8 or a 6. We see the king of hearts on the turn. Or that's the river. Holy shit, my brain just broke there. Sorry you had to be a witness. Pot checks down. 2 blinds will slide way. 10-4 for on the button. We'll raise it on up. Nope, they limp it in. My bad. King queen for Adrian will raise it up to 4 blinds. And the raise gets through. Queen for Jack 8 suited for Adrian. We'll see a raise, a 3-bet. Potentially a fold. Could also call and go to the flop depending on the size. 8 blinds in total. We do see a call. 7-4 2 flop. Adrian with the heart. That's not a heart. That's a club draw. With the over pair. We'll bet half pot. Adrian could dunk it in here. We could also call. Look to navigate on the turn. Adrian sticks in the raise. Just a little bit more to min click. 18 blinds. 10 more to call. This is the pot. We'll jam. Looking for a club. No, just like that. Gets the W. Ooh, so about 80k more for first place over second place. That's a big ass difference. Huge ass bounties for they scooped quite a few. Wow, this is getting way too difficult to say words. English is getting way too hard for me. Anyways, I suppose that's the end of the show. Did a great job of getting the job done here today. Pivgar was fun to see them. Pads, they hung out nice and patiently. Santoy played a strong game. Unfortunately, ran like shit. BM, it was fun to watch them. Coco Jambo, always fun to watch. KZHH just didn't get the opportunities. Same with Miss Oracle. And other than that, it was a very fun final table to watch. So, that's the end of the show. If you made it all the way through, thanks for checking this bullshit out. Adios, amigos.